7 nominees, dear distinguished colleagues. For the position of the chairman, we have Dr. Michael Akpoti-Uduaghan, and 6 members are also here. So we will start with the chairman, and let me put it this way. Chairman, we have copies of the CV of all of you. Some of us had gone through the CV. Others, could not because they're just bringing the CV. But we're not going to allow that delay us, because beyond what we are doing here today, we're still going to go into closed session. We're still going to consider every CV thoroughly. Even if we are taking you for only 5 minutes here, be rest assured we have between now and Tuesday, the 24th of June, when plenary will resume for the Senate, to review all of this CV and conclude on our background check. But let me quickly also inform distinguished colleagues and members of public that the nominees who are seated before us today have also been made to go through security screening by the various security agencies, including the Department of State Security as well as the Nigerian police, and none of them, had any issue with security clearance, which is very germane to what we are doing here. And we will just be speaking to your CV, because we have no issues with security clearance. Members of public are also to be told that we had also insisted that they should go through the constitutional requirement of going to do their asset declaration at the Code of Conduct Bureau, which they have also complied with. Finally, it is also for me to report that as a committee, we do not have any petition against any of the nominees who are here. So there is no inhibiting factor, that could really prevent us from screening, any of the nominees, because the screening exercise itself is a process, and all of these individual steps that I had mentioned are part of the process. So this is the process number 3, and once we are done with this, we then make our recommendations to the Senate in plenary, to take all the time, going through your CV from the first to the last page. In summary, let Nigerians meet you, and also let us know the kind of integrity you intend to also deploy as chairman of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, at such a critical time like this. So, summarily address us, and then if I have any of my distinguished colleagues who has a question, they would ask. Thank you.
Distinguished Senator, Ekpali, E-K-P-A-L-I. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry.
We didn't read out rules to our visitors, but please, this is the Senate of the Federal Republic, an extension of our hallowed chamber. We don't clap. We also have a culture.
Michael Akpoti-Uduaghan. I'm from Cross River State and retired staff of Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. I have been in the commission for the past 35 years and just retired in 2023. During this period, I have conducted several elections, and I've never been found wanting in terms of integrity in any of those series of elections, throughout some states. And so based on that, I think my integrity is intact. I do due diligence in elections, and make sure I don't compromise due processes, and ensure that the rules and regulations, the timelines and the procedures and processes are always adhered to during elections. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
people to ask, so I will limit the questions to 3, for you, so that I'll make sure you told us what you did as a part and parcel of the Independent National Electoral Commission. But sir, realizing that this is about State Independent Electoral Commission, you did say you were not found wanting. I mean, good, we also want to believe that you did not do anything, even though you were not found wanting, but you didn't do anything to compromise. Because it's one thing not to be found wanting. It's different from not having done it. I'm sure you understand what I mean. So we take you for your word in terms of integrity, and all that. But sir, what do you intend, how do you intend to manage, coming from managing election at the federal level to coming to manage election at the state level? I mean, there are 2 different things. What level of integrity do we expect that you would deploy? What should be the expectation of the people of Rivers State?
Mr. Chairman, for the recognition. Well, my own is an observation and a question. My name is Barrister Mohammed Tahir Monguno. I represent Borno North Senatorial District, the Chief Whip of the Senate. There are various schools of thought to the effect that there is a need to scrap local government state independent electoral commissions because of the clean sweep of elections across the nooks and crannies of the country whenever state independent electoral commissions conduct elections. Even councillorship were not considered to the opposition political party. Everything is being swept by the ruling party at the state. So there is no semblance of democracy. There is no free and fair and credible election that is a replica of the wishes and aspirations of the people that is being conducted at the state level. And therefore, the school of thought is of the opinion that local government elections through the medium of constitutional amendment should be transferred to the National Independent Electoral Commission to conduct local government elections so that this avalanche of clean sweep across the state will be a thing of truth. What is your opinion?
What impressed me much is what I'm seeing here. Your date of birth, just opposing that with your year of graduation from the University of Calabar. From what I have here, you were born on 1963, and you have your NYC certificate in 1985, meaning that you left the university at 21 and served at the age of 22. That is a great feat. I must commend you. Now, as the chairman of Independent Electoral Commission of Rivers State, and it's no longer news that Nigerians have lost confidence on elections being conducted by state electoral commissions. So what are you bringing on board to regain that lost trust from Nigerians on elections being conducted by state electoral bodies, as to regain that trust from Nigerians? That's all.
Yes, I do not want to repeat the same questions or observations made by my colleagues, but rather I'm concerned with the state of origin of the nominee for consideration as chairman of State Independent Electoral Commission for Rivers State. The Constitution, and I don't know, maybe the Rivers State law envisage that the nominee should be an indigene of the state, not somebody from outside the state. I need clarification on this because being a governor, and most of the governors normally nominate indigenes of the state to serve as chairman of State Independent Electoral Commission. But in this case, what we have before us, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, that the nominee for the position of chairman of State Independent Electoral Commission in Rivers is from Cross River, not River State. So I think we need clarification on that. And lastly, short of lodging the issue, elections conducted by the State Independent Electoral Commission has been very, very controversial, right from the time Rsiec, that is State Independent Electoral Commission, started conducting elections. It is nothing but
order, please.
The chairman, I think we should.
Your point is good.
Yes. The elections conducted by the State Independent Electoral Commission has been subject of controversy to the extent that the former president, and indeed even the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, are saying that the elections should be conducted by the INEC. Local government elections should be conducted by INEC instead of State Independent Electoral Commission because of lack of credibility, and there is no fairness. It is biased all over, and elections are not free and fair and credible. Having come from the National INEC, what can you do to change the narrative in the event that this committee find you suitable and recommend you for confirmation by the Senate? Thank you.
The first question on what integrity will I be bringing to the local government elections in Rivers State. First and foremost on character and indigenship. I'm not from Rivers State, so I don't know anybody that is going to influence me to do anything otherwise, because I'll keep to the rules, I'll keep to the procedures, I'll keep to the timelines. So I'm going to remain neutral and impartial. That's question one. Scrapping of State Independent Electoral Commission because of absence of free and fair. Well, this is also tied, in my opinion, to the principle of federalism. So if we are practicing federalism, I think that the sub-nationals should be allowed to handle local government election, local government and council, chairmanship and councillorship elections, because that gives them a sense of independence. Yeah, but we agree that since it is the closest election to the grassroots, it is very emotive, people are very concerned, and there is a tendency for the governor of the state, arguably so, to control that institution and mortgage its integrity. That's my opinion. The questions are really tied. There's loss of confidence and the subject of controversy. Yes, like I said, it's a matter of integrity. We should be able to do our jobs, acknowledge, lapses and procedural ineffectiveness, and accept that where we err, we will correct it, not to remain in self-denial. So I believe that with my presence there as the chairman, the important thing first is the stakeholders' collaboration, so that you bring them on board. Because from experiences, if you're operating an opaque electoral process where the stakeholders are not brought into the electoral value chain, there is a tendency that there will be gaps there will be rumors, and those gaps are bound to be filled with misinformation. So I think that is paramount to me, that I will carry all the stakeholders in the electoral process on board and make sure that my planning, my timelines, my procedures are well known to them and they key into that process. Because if they key into the process, there is that tendency that they will own it and to be part of it, they will protect it, and they may ultimately accept the outcome. That is my fervent belief, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You raised issue as to state of origin.
Yes.
What would you say to that?
Well, with the utmost respect, I also have gone through the Rsiec law, enabling law, and there is nothing that precludes an appointment of anybody outside the state as chairman of election management board in the state.
Copy of the law with you?
No, I don't have it. I don't have it here, but I went through it.
Okay.
Yes, I did go through it. Okay.
Well, you may make it available. Assume that we know the law.
Exactly.
We're also in possession of the law. So just telling you to make it available is a polite way of saying, there's a need to take a second look at it, because in my opinion, independent National Electoral Commission is about Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. When we say a state independent electoral commission, it's about that state. And this is not a matter we're just going to gloss over, because if it happens, it will be a novel situation. And it has to be something that we can defend. We must find that defense, clearly stated in the law. Even if there's nothing in the law saying you cannot appoint from outside of the state, even if nothing says that, we still need to look at it to be sure that it's not something that would be repugnant to public conscience. It has to be something that we're able to defend. So we'll take a second look at that. But as to eligibility criteria, otherwise, that's not in doubt. But your appointment has raised a novel issue for us to look into and take a decision, so that we'll know whether it's something that can serve as a precedent or not. No, sir. With due respect, my distinguished vice chairman, I won't allow any debate on this yet until we are clear about the law. We'll come back. We'll come back to address it. I know you are a wonderful man. Thank you. Okay. So, no, sir. I just told our distinguished vice chairman that he shouldn't. Because you have raised a very fundamental issue, and we need to be sure when we get to our closed door session, we'll be able to discuss it and take a position.
I just want to emphasize.
Mr. Chairman.
No,
with due respect, sir. With due respect, sir. Please don't emphasize. Okay. Please. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we take on the next person. That would be Mr. Tobira Lazi Lenny. Okay, thank you.
Prefix before my name, I'm a professor. I'm a professor. Please put. What is the matter? Yes, you've been writing the Mr. since.
We have a lot of you here. So what we need you to do is, in summary again, and knowing that we have your CV, let us meet you and what you intend, how you intend to also add value as a member.
Oversight of emergency rule in Rivers State.
Actually, you can skip protocol, sir. Don't worry. Just go on. Don't worry about protocol.
Okay, thank you, sir. My name is Professor Lazi Tobira. I'm from Kana local government area of Rivers State. I'm a professor of finance in the University of Port Harcourt. I've worked with IDEC severally as a returning officer in several elections, and I have never gotten any problem, and there's no integrity issue. I intend to add value to this commission by ensuring that the right things are done and done properly. I've gone through the law. I've gone through taking time through the law and the rules as well. And I saw some of the places where, particularly one, where the former election was not accepted because they violated a section of the law. And we are here now. I'm going to be here to help make sure that all rules are followed, all stakeholders are consulted, and the election is conducted in a free and fair state. I belong to the federal government because I work with the federal government in the federal university. I'm not of the state government, and I don't have any interest in the election. I don't also belong to any political party, and as such, I know I'm going to do the right thing there. Thank you, sir.
Our nominee, if found appointable, if eventually you're found appointable, what is your view, or what do you think discipline, integrity, and accountability has to do with your job? And in case that is also missing in anyone appointed to the position you are seeking for, what will you think should be, what will you recommend that should be the punishment for somebody without those three things I have just mentioned? Do you think those things really count in the position you are craving to occupy now? Thank you.
Nominees for Rsiec. I think 5 or 6 of them are professors. Don't you think it's a disservice to the education sector? Don't you think that if every professor in Rivers State is now going into Rsiec, that it's now a disservice to the education sector? Thank you.
Okay, I think given the case in point, in the sense that there was an election conducted and it was annulled because things were not seen to be done right, I think the people that nominated the professors want things to be done right. Because all these professors you see on the list are men of integrity in their various schools. And I think Rivers State want to get it right. That's why they brought a lot of professors on board. So it's not a disservice because we are serving our state and our nation. Then the first question now. The punishment that could be given to people without integrity, right? Whether the punishment given to defaulters counts, that's the question. Please let me get you.
Sorry, my question is in two folds.
Go ahead.
Are those things, do they really matter? Do they count for the job you're asking for? I want you to be able to defend or to tell us whether those things actually count. And if they do, and one or someone is found wanting, if they really count, what should then be? What would you recommend that should be the punishment for such a person being in that position you are craving for, if you are found appointable?
Well, recommendations. The recommendations are there in the law. For those who default, who did not do what they're supposed to do in an election, the court is there to determine what punishment should be meted to such person. And then, talking about integrity, for some of us to have risen to the point of a professor, the rank of a professor, without even a query one day in our place of work, that is part of the definition of integrity. I have never been found wanting anywhere I have worked, and even in the university. And even on this new job, I will make sure that what ought to be done will be done. That's what I stand for, and that's what I represent on this board. Thank you.
But your sweepy generalization created a problem for me. When you make the general assumption that once you are a professor, it's a mark of integrity. That is not true. Some professors are in prison, not only in Nigeria, elsewhere in the world. To be a professor is not a statement of character. With respect, I put that to you. Not to do with you now, because you be before you get to a professor. That's not true. And the issue raised by my distinguished brother is simply that if there is a place where we need men and women of character, is in the university system, where you are supposed to produce students who are found worthy, quote, in character and learning. And they can only be found wanting in character if professors of character are part of those who are involved in the process of imparting knowledge. I just don't want you to get away with the assumption, because I noticed you insisted that they didn't put professor before your name. And I told my colleague here, professor is not a name. Indeed, in some jurisdictions where ethics are strong, once you stop teaching, you no longer have to brag your professorial thing around. To say a professor is to say that you are teaching and you are researching. And General, sir, you know one General Powell, who commanded the US Armed Forces to invade Iraq. Once he retired from the army as the Chief of General Staff of the US Armed Forces, and he became a civilian and he was appointed Secretary of State, he was always referred to as Mr. Powell. So if you are no longer teaching, because part of the problem of Nigeria, if you are no longer teaching, don't carry your professorial signboard on your forehead. But this has nothing to do with your competence or the job. I have no doubt. I'm not questioning your character. But don't make assumption that once you are a professor, it's a statement of integrity. It is not.
It's a comment, so I don't think I need to bring you back to the microphone. It was a comment. It was not a question, so you don't need to respond. But your observation is well noted, and the Secretariat is directed to act in that regard. We'll take it as the second omission. A distinguished lady was presented to us as a Mr., and in the presence of everybody, we corrected that S be added to the Mr. To make sure she's a Mrs. properly. And I've also taken a look at a copy of the CV you submitted, and I believe that was also the CV you submitted for the purpose of this appointment. So to the extent that you were appointed a professor and you are still teaching, using the standard of distinguished Senator Shiomole, the Secretariat would do the needful by putting your proper title. It doesn't stop you from being a minister, but your title is a professor because you attained that. So we'll go to the next person. I'm calling yet another professor by the name of Arur.
So I've been produced so many medical doctors, over 4,000 medical doctors have passed through me for this period of time. I got employment after my youth service in 1986. And since then to date, I've been in academics, which I'm retiring, happily retiring. So I've produced a number of medical doctors and over 4,000, more than that, PhD holders, MSCs in the medical field. I've been I'm a director, heading a number of departments. Director of that, director of this are all contained in my CV. I've been a dean of the faculty before my retirement. As I said, I have headed so many departments, so many investigative departments in the university to keep it, which is a macro sub of the country and the state, which I have tried to put everything in order I'm retiring happily that I've succeeded. So I want to transfer the same experience I had to the Nigeria, my state situation. How we can manage the crisis, which I have managed in the university, and also want to transfer it into the present situation we find ourselves. And God be with us. We'll manage it successfully to the end. Thank you.
Yeah. But for another minute, tell us how you are going to add value as an electoral commissioner, especially in a state that is going through a peculiar situation right now.
Thank you, sir. And regulations. I have been on panels and so many panels, even sometimes in university. And the books are there. Where there are mistakes, we adjust and correct it and make sure that things are done properly. In this situation we find ourselves in River State, there are rules by the government or the federation and also the government of the state. Look at all the rules and see how we can manage a sad situation to be a palatable situation where we cannot benefit from it. We must work within the rules, advice. I mean, we must consult. We cannot just go and continue something. We must consult the elders, discuss with them. These are the problems we encounter. How do we get out of it? Like when we do our research, we collaborate. We cannot go and say, yes, I have the knowledge of everything. No. I'll come to you. That is the area I'm interested in. I saw your profile, and can you advise me? This is what I want to do. So we get those. So with that, we could get the state set.
Thank you. The first right of refusal is still subsisting for Senator Jim Kuta. Senator Jim Kuta, you still have your first right of, I could still proceed. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Please clarify for me. Are you still in full paid employment with the university as we speak?
I said my retirement.
Please,
so
yes, no. Just, Prof, the question is simple. Are you still in full-time employment University of Port Harcourt as we speak? And you want to be a commissioner?
Yes.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying.
I just want the clarification.
Prof, don't worry. Just as you have said you will retire sometime, maybe later this month or next month, so it means you are still in. So it's just a yes question. That does not disqualify you from being appointed commissioner. You know, that's, so it's not every time you try to defend yourself when it's not necessary.
No, not defending.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Just clarification. Please, what's your surname?
My surname is Chu Emene.
Yeah, because from the letter from the president, there was no Chu Emene after Wafo.
Yes.
But from your CV, it's after Chu Emene.
Yes, Chu Emene was submitted, yes.
Okay.
Yes, affidavit to that.
Okay.
He has an affidavit on record.
Okay, the secretary can also note.
No. He has an affidavit on record addressing that.
There's evidence to that.
Just a general observation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my distinguished colleagues, our esteemed nominees. It is a normal requirement for all nominees for a political appointment to attach a copy of their declaration of assets. Evidence of declaration of assets, acknowledgement receipt from the Code of Conduct Bureau. And I have seen that most of you have not done that. I think it's advisable for all of you to go and declare your assets and bring acknowledgement receipt to the Secretariat before the Senate can do the final confirmation.
Okay, sir.
It is a mandatory requirement.
Yes, sir.
So maybe you have not been told. So you have to do it if you have not done it. Thank you.
I informed on because My office has been in touch with the Office of the Special Advisor on Senate Matters, who informed that they had gone through these steps, both the Code of Conduct Bureau as well as the security clearance with the security agencies. Distinguished Senator Wemboy.
Well, thank you. Through your CV, and I can see that you're a great man. You got your first degree at the University of Wales. I can see the certificate. But surprisingly, this certificate is not dated. I wouldn't know, was that the practice then? Or that this is not coming from University of Wales? 2, Prof, having spent your whole working experience in the medical field, probably in the university, you're not a politician. I don't think you have voted for once. So what experience do you have to put in the electoral process as a commissioner of Rivers Electoral Commission? In view of the fact that you have no political knowledge, you don't participate in politics, you are just coming fresh from the University College of Medicine. So what are you going to contribute in this electoral process?
Well, let me save you, Prof. The question that our distinguished colleague asked you, your certificate not being dated, address that. Don't attempt to dabble into the second aspect, because if you were to have a political experience or to have been part of any political setup, that's more reason why we should disqualify you instantly.
Why not allow him to answer?
But address it, and I seek the indulgence of distinguished Senator Wambo for you not to address the other, because not being political is actually what qualifies you to serve as a member of this commission. Otherwise, you shouldn't be here. Thank you.
Yes, 15th July 1980. Oh, that's it. Okay. I know where you're coming from. Yes. Okay. December 1984. They have just raised your hand. Yes.
I thank Senator Wembo. That's a very important question. Thank you. Are you satisfied? I'm satisfied. Okay. So we'll take on the next person. You also have a rain check. You can come back for another person. We are going to Professor your CV, and just yes. In summary, please just tell us who you are.
Yes, all protocol
you intend
observed.
to add value.
I am
and
Professor.
skip protocols.
No, there's no end. There's no. No. There's no answer. Yes, sir. I came from Rivers State in Emohua local government area of Rivers State. I'm also a professor in University of Port Harcourt. I have taught several years in my life. I've also been involved in several elections in Rivers State,
from presiding officers to returning officers to the last day of elections. So I know that my integrity of myself can always speak for me, because most people who know me know that I don't like things that are going to be stained. I like being clear on whatever I do so that nobody can put me anywhere. In fact, I have a family that even as you are going for anything, they will warn you and tell you about this family. And since I go to this level, I don't think I have any issues in relation to criminal offense committed. So I know that me being appointed as a member of Rsiec, I had to bring a lot of renovations, and that renovation is to make sure that we work with the stakeholders and also tell them what the Constitution, the Rex Constitution is talking about. Because one thing is to be appointed and one thing is to do the right thing. So we are going to do the right thing, and we're going to do the right thing by making sure that the rules and laws are being done to make sure that the name of Rsiec is not drawn to the moon. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, I present Professor Woke for question.
My name? Yes, that name they gave there from my community when we visited them. I said, that name, Udoka, is my community. No. I have other affidavits in that place. I don't know where that name came from, sincerely speaking, sir. That's going to be my middle name, but my middle name is Ngozi.
Mr. Chairman, your attention, please. Welcome.
Yes, you have my attention.
How are we going to address this now, Mr. Chairman? So that somebody will not come and make claim tomorrow that he's the one.
I also have an affidavit of my name from a declaration when I meet first one. It's clearly stated, Godfrey Ngozi.
See the point Senator Jim Kuta is making here. Uduaghan is standing here as your surname.
No, as my middle name.
No, the letter that was sent to us.
My surname is Woke.
Yes. Woke is put as a middle name here. We have Professor Godfrey Woke Uduaghan. That's what we have.
What is the Ngozi?
Ngozi is not there as well.
Who is not there?
Is this not your name, this Uduaghan?
That one said that name is from my community. That's my community name.
So it's not your name?
It's not my name, sir.
Which is your typographic?
Okay, is that the name of a town, a village?
It's the name of my village, my community where I came from, sir.
Okay. Okay.
It's where I came from.
Your surname is Woke.
Yeah, my surname is Woke, sir.
Then his name is complete, Your Excellency. Woke Godfrey is his name. The other one is the name of his community.
Yes, my
You cannot impose name on him. And none of his certificate is bearing this.
Yes, my
So let's act on what is presented before us. Because we can't give him a name.
Most distinguished Senator Mwemboyi, what is presented before us is Uduaghan.
Okay.
But
yeah,
we can go by your argument that we can cure.
Yes.
We can cure this.
It's a main regularity.
Yes.
It's a main regularity.
We can cure it by going through his record, the gamut of certificates that he has, the affidavit, and all that. So the Secretariat, please note, that is the third correction to be made, and we also have to reflect this in our report, so that nothing is inconsistent with what came.
Nobody is contesting the name.
All right? Okay, so Senator Jim Kuta, thank you for that question, well noted. The Secretariat would do the needful. Okay, any other question?
Mine is on the light side. I always find it interesting when people say, we just have to do the right thing. There is a particular politician who like to say that all the time, do the right thing. may I ask you, what are the elements that constitute the right thing in an electoral process?
Of the university.
Sorry, like I said before this time, the Rsiec have a constitution, and they have a bylaws, or they have a law. Now, if you follow the law strictly, and you do not deviate, you are doing the right thing. And what are the right things? For instance, if electoral materials are to move to a particular local government, because one, if that material is to move to local government by 10 o'clock, and you as an officer did not appear before 10 o'clock, and maybe appear after 12, 1 o'clock, it means you have set the whole place in a very crisis situation. Therefore, as a member of this body, we will try as much as possible to see that the elections are conducted at a particular time where we are supposed to be conducting the election. If materials are to move to local government, apart from the area that we have, the area like riverline areas where you have to struggle for votes, in that case, we all understand the result of that particular place. We also have to put the people on notice that why we are not coming now is that this is happening, this is happening. So they will now know that actually the people are coming with their materials. But in a situation when you are supposed to conduct an election by 1 o'clock, you go by 4 o'clock. I mean, you're not doing the right thing. Indirectly, you have caused problem in that election. And any of the person involved in the community can raise an uproar that you have something you are doing. Even when you are conscious, it's very, very clean. That's what I mean by the right thing, my Lord, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not satisfied.
Please, Senator Jimkuta.
Sir.
Please, what's your point of order?
Mr. Chairman, I'm not satisfied with the issue I raised, and because they say secretariat. And the document here is not from secretariat, it's from Mr. President, Mr. Chairman. So there is no clarification on my question, sir, Mr. Chairman. Because the document here, I'm not working with a document from somebody, I'm working with a document from Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. In addendum to that, I've perused carefully on the documents transmitted to us from the presidency, dated 2nd June 2025. Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, the name of the fourth nominee from the presidency is Professor Godfrey Mbu-Diora. If the Mbu-Diora is a typographical error, I think Mr. President has to explain this to the Parliament. If it is part of his name, that clarification also ought to come from the presidency. This is fundamental. It goes to the fact in issue, and we cannot sweep it under the carpet. We need to know the proper person that is duly nominated by the President and Commander-in-Chief as a member of Rivers State Electoral Commission. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Furthermore, Mr. Chairman.
So I move for the name to be stepped down, Mr. Chairman.
No. Furthermore, Mr. Chairman.
One microphone needs to be off. I recognize you, distinguished Senator Adamu Alero.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Colleagues. The nominee, I refer you to the certificate issued by University of Port Harcourt, where it is stated that you have been awarded a degree of Bachelor of Science Education, and your name is Godfrey Uduaghan. Huh? Godfrey Uduaghan.
Godfrey Uduaghan only.
Yes, and I refer you.
There's no Ngozi on this one.
Yes, I refer you to the certificate issued by the same university, where it mentioned Godfrey Ngozi Uduaghan. there seems to be inconsistency on this. And there is no affidavit to state that you are the same person. This is a contradiction to the earlier correspondence we have from the president. So we need clarification on this. Otherwise, we may have to step this down. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Most distinguished colleagues, we need to progress on this issue. Nothing is going to be swept under the carpet. At the same time, we also ensure that no one suffers unnecessary injury. So I guess, well, Prof, you made the point that the name contained in the letter sent to us by Mr. President, that's Professor Akpoti-Uduaghan, was a name adopted after your community. While we are not doubting the fact that there's a village that is so named in River State, I don't know also whether it is a practice. If Senator Mongunu were to have said that, who we know is from Mongunu town in Borno State, I don't think anybody would have raised an issue. Or if Senator Wemboy, you have said that. That's also the practice in Ebonyi State? Is it the practice? Well, at this point, I need a distinguished member to make a motion on how you want us to proceed on this matter. I need a motion.
Yes, there's a standing motion, Mr. Chairman. And I want to repeat that as a result of the inconsistency we can observe from the list sent from the Office of the President and Commander-in-Chief nominating members of River State Electoral Commission, which is different from the CV before us, Mr. Chairman, I hereby move that the name of one of the nominees, Mr. Professor Godfrey Nwoke, be stepped down as a result of the inconsistency until clarified. I so move.
Be stepped down for what? I mean, you have
for amendment.
No. Be stepped down for further investigation.
Point of order. Point of order. Point of order.
Okay, there's a point of order.
Point of order. It's not amendment. Clarification. Clarification, not amendment.
Be stepped down for further clarification.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, clarification.
Be stepped down.
Let's note the particular person.
Mr. Chairman, okay. If you don't mind, sir.
No. There's a motion. You can always either second or not, and then I'll put the question. Is either the motion succeed or it does not? Are you seconding? You are not? Okay, I need a seconder.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Senator Aminu Abbas. I second the motion as moved by Senator Wemboy that the name be dropped for further clarification. I so second. Yeah.
Any counter motion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a counter motion. I think, and I'll give it, but I think it's only fair that we are fair to him. Yes. To the extent that what we say is, and I can see from his CV, he actually says Godfrey Nwoke, native of, in one of his documents. I think what is fair is we go ahead with his confirmation subject to that clarification, as opposed to stepping down the confirmation. Because if we've done the confirmation, and that is the only thing, so my amendment will be that we proceed with his confirmation subject to that clarification, as opposed to stop the confirmation.
Mr. Chairman.
And
yes.
I want to second the motion moved by my distinguished brother. Because if we go this route, number one on the list of nominees is Dr. Michael Akpoti-Uduaghan. And he said that that is not his name. So if we want to step, that means we have to go back to step. No, there's no affidavit on that. No, not that one. Not that one. There's no affidavit on item
Most distinguished.
Item 1 is his name is Ali.
Most distinguished, you are all familiar with the rules of the Senate. We had dealt with all those ones. We are not going back to them. The issue before us is whether we are stepping down further consideration of the nominee for appointment pending clarification on them, or we are not. You know, and that's how I would rather want to put the question. Those who feel we should step this down, pending further clarification, say aye. Aye. Those who feel we should not, say nay. Nay. The nays have it. There's a second motion, moved by Senator Adegbamire, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, also believing that what we ought to do is to actually proceed with this confirmation, but subject, that is, confirmation should be subject to our clarification as to the veracity or otherwise of the name, and to be sure that the inconsistency with the name that was said by Mr. President is one that is resolvable. Right? Okay, you second the motion. Okay. So, no, wait. We have a motion on the table. It's a matter of procedure. We're going to end up with two motions and then we'll take a final one. Yes. All right. So those who are in support of that motion, as moved and seconded, say aye. Aye. Those who are against, say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. The ayes have it.
You cannot clarify.
Wait. So, I'll now put the final question based on the two motions that we have had. Those who really feel we need to proceed with the confirmation, with the consideration of the nomination of Professor Wike, but ensure that we clarify the seeming consistencies. Finally, say aye. Aye. Those who feel we need to put a hold on it, say nay. So the ayes overwhelmingly have it. So you may step down for the next person. Thank you. Secretariat, please do a memo today. By the time this committee is sitting tomorrow, we must have that clarification. Do a memo today, address to the chairman is talking. Do a memo today, address to the chairman, address to the chief of staff to Mr. President, and bring it for my signature.
Okay, for the clarification.
Yes.
Which means my motion had a day. Yes. My motion had a day.
No motion died, but we took a decision. So the next person is Professor. Oh yeah, that's good to know. I was wondering if I was not even gender friendly at all. So please join me in welcoming to the microphone Professor Mrs. Joyce Orone Akaniwo.
Chairman, sir, my name is Joyce Orone Akaniwo. I work with the University of Port Harcourt in the Department of Biochemistry. I've worked in the University of Port Harcourt for 43 years, and I'll be retiring in November this year. Actually, I'll be going on my retirement leave in August this year. I have played a role of a leader in many aspects of the university community. I've acted as HUD Dean and member of many Senate committees in the university. I am actually a leader also in the community. I'm a justice of peace and have actually handled various types of human beings in my life. I'm a member of this, a nominated member of this Rsiec commission, and I'm thinking that I'll do my best to make sure that the commission works well and delivers the right things needed of them. I am from River State, from Ikure local government by birth.
No, it's okay, Prof. Your CV says all of that. The two people that I asked where they came from is because their CV did not
Sorry,
state.
sir?
The two people that I asked what state they came from was because their CVs did not state their state of origin. Yours clearly stated. So don't worry, about that. It is clear.
Okay.
Just in another minute, tell us how you intend to add value, and then.
For the election, actually, appointment as a nominee. Oh, sorry, I think I can do that because I know I can be part of the commission doing the right thing, making sure that the elections go right. I've actually served in the last election as an electoral officer, and as far as I'm concerned, we will abide by the rules and regulations of the commission. I believe as a Christian and a leader, I can do that and help the other members and my chairman. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. She's here to be.
With issues of qualifications, unfortunately, issues of character have to be proven on the job. So I have no fundamental problem. But I hope you do understand, because one of my distinguished colleagues, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, thanks to modern technology, he has extracted the law. The River State Independent Election Commission. It says that once you are in the service of public service and you are appointed, you are deemed automatically to have resigned from your current job. Do you fully understand that? Are you ready to fully, because what it means is that once it's done, without further ado, you are deemed to have resigned. You understand that? Because you can't keep the two. Because this job is full-time.
The electoral officers and electoral people who conduct elections have always been taken from the university system.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, maybe just some clarification. If they're in full-time employment. The reason is because the law that sets up your commission says that you are not disqualified from being considered to be chairman or member of the commission. However, where you are confirmed, it is deemed that you have resigned your former appointment. And I keep asking you, professors, are you aware that there is that clause? And I'll read it out to you so that we all understand. I like to be fair to everybody. Let me read it out to you. A person employed in the public service of the state, it doesn't even talk about, shall not be disqualified for appearance as chairman or member of the commission. But it then goes on. Pursuant to subsection 2, where a person has been appointed, in other words, appointed as a member of the commission, he is or his appointment be deemed to have resigned from his former office from the date of the appointment. And I keep asking you, professors, are you sure that you've looked at this act, this law under which you want to operate, that if you are appointed today, you have to go and resign?
My distinguished senator, I'm going to retire.
What I'm saying so is that your appointment is subject to you resigning, and that is the tricky aspect.
Can I just say what happens? In university, I can go on leave of absence.
Yes, why you have that, Mr. Chairman, please permit. Sea of government, you don't even to go on sabbatical or leave of absence. Why you have that? In this situation, that is not the case. What is the case is what has just been read out to you, that your confirmation of the appointment is subject to your resignation. That is the meaning.
Well, as far as I know about commissioners coming from universities, we go on leave of absence. But if this particular...
Electoral officers are...
Well, I'm resigning.
Prof, you cannot... Prof, just hold on. So that you know what we are considering here. I like, we could have gone and not ask you these questions, but it is good to tell you. What I'm saying is that those are ad hoc staff. You can do it. In the commission, you have a full-time employment. In the university, you have a full-time employment. Therein lies the problem. You can't have two full-time employments.
I think that, Prof, this is an appointment. You are not going into election. So I think that the requirement of the law in this context is for her to seek for leave of absence because she is not standing election. If she is standing the election, she is required to resign her appointment in the state civil service or any other place. But being political appointment, which is tenured, maybe 5 years, you go back to your office. So what is required of you in this context is leave of absence. And if you have that, to me, you are home and dry. Thank you.
Their law, what they have in their own law in River State, except to intend to
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Learned Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Thank you for availing us with that provision. That provision is from where? River State law?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it consistent with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
What section, what aspect of the Constitution? Because the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria provides for the INEC as well as the State Independent Electoral Commission. The Constitution, under the Constitution, I know the likes of Professor Jaga, Professor Mahmoud, and all manners of people have been appointed, into INEC, either as chairman or commissioners, and they went on leave of absence. So I just want us to be sure whether River State law is actually inconsistent with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If this were the position of the law, I will ask her right now to choose which one she wants, and we will on that and move on. But we have to be sure that this, law made by River State is not inconsistent with the Constitution as well as the custom and conventions, of the federal law.
Do you want me?
I
have it. You want me to answer that sincerely?
Very sincere.
Okay.
And in overriding public interest.
First and foremost, professor herself knows that as a university professor, she can't have a second full employment. She knows it's against university rules.
No, that's not in that.
Let me finish, sir. Let me finish.
Yes.
So that we have a proper background. Now, the law that we speak about, we are sitting today to consider members of the River State Electoral Commission. Whatever we do must be in compliance with that law. We cannot say, because we think, because there has been no decision on it, that it does not apply, then we sidestep it. And that's what the suggestion that you are making with respect, sir. That we sidestep it. Now, I have read the thing out myself.
No, I'm not.
Now, the law I have read out, sir.
No, let us see.
Yes, sir.
Please wait. I am not doubting the provision of the legal provision you read, as well as the implication and the interpretation. All I'm trying to be sure is that that law itself is not inconsistent with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which will make it null and void. That's all I'm trying to establish.
And I'm trying to lay background so that we understand what we are talking about. You give an example of INEC, sir. In the Constitution, it does not say the criteria for appointing the chairman of INEC. It says to you, there shall be INEC, and then there is an INEC law that now sets out the criteria. Now, There is a difference between when you go on leave of absence. You are still in the employment of the university. When you go on a leave of absence, you are still in the employment of the university. That is the truth. So you can go and come back. When you come back, you give notice that you have returned to work. Now, in this instance of this law, which we are considering, it says explicitly, and the draftsman doesn't do anything in vain. He says it doesn't disqualify you from being a member of the commission or chairman. He says, but where your appointment takes effect, you are deemed to have resigned. And when he says deemed, it's operation of law. So whether Prof writes a letter or not, and that lies the catch there. He says you are deemed. And the point I'm making, sir.
Please,
yes, sir.
Read that provision again.
I'll read it again, sir.
Read that provision again.
Because I'm trying to help everybody. It says,
yeah, read that provision.
Subsection 2.
And which law is this?
Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission Law, 2018, is what I'm reading, sir.
Okay, which is an act of parliament.
Yes, sir.
By Rivers State House of Assembly.
Yes, sir.
Yes, read
yes,
it
sir.
again.
Now, it then goes on in section 3, qualification for membership. One of them is subsection 2. A person employed in the public service of the state shall not be disqualified for appointment as chairman or member of the commission. So she's not disqualified. But it then goes to subsection 3 and says, pursuant to subsection 2, where a person has been appointed, his or his appointment be deemed to have resigned his former office from the date of the appointment. Therein lies the catch. He says deemed. He doesn't say go and resign.
Stop there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You have made your point. Prof, no, don't say anything. The only reason I'm not going to ask you to choose, I will only have one question for you. Are you in the employment? Don't say anything until I've asked my question, and either say yes or no. That's all I need. Are you in the employment or in the public service of Rivers State as a professor in the Rivers State University, or you are in the employment of the federal government as a professor of the University of Port Harcourt?
Professor of the federal government, University of Port Harcourt.
So the law does not apply to you. You understand?
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. She is not in the public service of the state.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I have this matter. And I tell you, I will let it be.
No, sir, no. Please read it one more time. Read just the first two lines. The first two lines. Just read the first two lines.
Mr. Chairman.
Let us see. Just read the first two lines.
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Let me tell you why I say I don't want to get into this with you.
Mr. Chairman.
Because I don't want us to.
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Senator Jimkuta, I'm being asked to answer a question. Let me answer it. I don't want it to appear that there is a personal issue. I'm only trying to be. Let me finish, sir. If I flip that, what it means is that if you are not from the state public service, you can't even be considered. If we flip it, you see, and that's why I said let's be careful what we are trying to do. Listen to me again, sir. It will mean that the draftsman assumes.
Let us see. Please, with due respect to you, I most humbly request, sir, with due respect, sir, I most humbly request that you slowly read, that provision again, especially the first two lines.
With respect to you, sir, I said that I don't disagree that it says public service of the state. And I'm saying to you, if we go on that trajectory, what it means is that the law itself does not envisage you being in the federal appointment and still come and be Rivers State Commissioner.
No, it only means that the law only refers to people who are in the state public service. It does not apply to people who are not. In other words, if you are coming from the private sector, or from the federal public service, or from the academia, or from, the law does not affect you as long as you are not in the service of Rivers State government. That is the my own interpretation of that provision. I mean, look at it again, sir. You know?
We should take it under advisement.
Okay.
It's screening, not confirmation. I think there is need to reserve this argument till we come to confirmation, then we can argue it and take a decision on it.
Well, it's
but
good.
We should not be washing our...
No, we are not washing anything. No. Wait. I mean, he will be failing in his professional calling, not just as a senator, but as a senior advocate of Nigeria, if he will not guide, this process. So he has done the right thing. In fact, I was impressed by the fact that he could quickly go and pull this out. The ruling that I made was simply on the basis of the fact that he read out the provision. He read out the provision of that law. And it was obvious that that law only referred to people who are in the public service of Rivers State. And in which case, that provision does not apply to the nominee that is before us. It does not close the argument. It does not mean we cannot look into it. It also does not even stop us as a National Assembly, from taking this matter up with the Rivers State House of Assembly when they come back in session. Because if that is, he did his job as a senior advocate of Nigeria. And I'm happy to also join issue with him as a live bencher.
Senior member of the bar.
Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, I want to ask, the issue of secondment come from in Nigerian law? The issue of secondment. Because if she's an appointee, if they appoint you, and if you are a civil servant, you can write for a secondment.
No, that does not even apply here. Not in this context. This is not the case. Yes. This is an appointment.
Yeah.
This is an appointment. And the issues are issues of eligibility. There's no doubt in the fact that she's eligible. And the other issue is whether is the issue of disqualification. Is she disqualified? Because you can be eligible, yet you'll be disqualified. That is the issue. Is she disqualified from accepting this appointment? My own position is that no, because she's not a member of the Rivers State Public Service. So, and then if anybody is in that category, the senior advocate of Nigeria has this issue. Just get ready to choose which one you want to take between the two. All right. So. No, it's not full-time job. She will have to go on leave of absence, as people had always done. Professor Mahmoud Jigar went on leave, all of them. Professor Yakub went on. Every INEC commissioner is on leave of absence. May I proceed, distinguished colleagues?
Let's proceed.
Thank you. So we'll go to the next person. Bruce Olive Abona. Is that how you are presented by Mr. President? Dr. Mrs. Olive A. Bruce. That's you. Okay, thank you.
Olive Abona Bruce. I'm from Rivers State, Oba-Ebe-Mandoni local government area, and I'm a lecturer in Federal College of Education Technical, Ekiadolo, Benin City, Edo State. Yes, I started working. It's a new school. It's one of the new schools that was created recently. One of the new Federal Colleges of Education created recently is about 4 to 5 years old. I've been working there since 2003, and I'm currently the HOD of Curriculum Studies and Foundational Education. Yes, and by the grace of God, coming to this commission, if I'm confirmed into this commission, I actually do not have any ideas about elections and all that, but we are all in school for life, so I'm going to learn a lot and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to keep, by the grace of God, follow the rules stipulated by the Rsiec law and the Constitution, the Nigerian Constitution. We'll keep the rules, follow the timelines, the procedures, and make sure that we do what is expected of us by Nigerians. Yes, and by the grace of God, I'll do my best to do the right thing. Thank you.
Question.
To me, it's just a comment that I just want to pass on the nominee. I've gone through her CV, and I'm happy that she said something different from the previous one that we have attended to. She said she has no experience on any election, but she's ready to learn and to follow the rules. Because I like what she said. She's very, very sincere, and we hope, and I hope I will follow up with the department that you are, to see whether you are that sincere. Thank you very much.
Has said, you know, with all due respect to those who say they have worked in INEC, I am more comfortable with new people like you. Yeah, because you can't be alleged to have participated in any election that was nullified or became controversial. So you have a blemished record. Anyone who has participated in elections that were severely nullified, but I saw some, they did in Edo, they did in Delta, they did in Imo, if you check the outcome, some of those elections were nullified, even if you were not personally caught. Therefore, you come with clean record, and may God guide you.
Amen.
A substitute first right of refusal, let her just do that.
Mr. Chairman, in view of all that have just been said, may I crave your indulgence and appeal to members that we shall allow her to take a bow. Thank you.
Well, well, I'll take it that of all the three people who spoke, none of them asked you a question. So you may take a bow, and then we'll take, I think, one more person for this. Let me prepare your mind, because we thought we were going to take two agencies today. This is 4 o'clock to see whether we'll still be able to take another agency. Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, Southwest and South-South Development Commission, their confirmation is also tomorrow. That's great. Okay, so please, we'll still do the next agency. Special advisor to Mr. President on Senate matters, I think we'll let you excuse yourself, but you'll come back here. Just be shortly, because I know you're also preparing for getting nominees ready for Southwest and South-South Development Commission screening tomorrow. So, shuttle. All right. So, now, as the last nominee here, but not the least, Chidi Ebenezer Halliday. Present? They just brought your CV. What happened? Oh, so it was our secretariat that was producing? They just gave us. Chidi Ebenezer Halliday. Does everyone have a copy now, please?
Lines. And I feel that with the weight of experience, I will bring value to the commission. Thank you, sir.
The question is a general question to all the nominees. Please, does any one of you belong to any political party? None. No one belongs to any political party in the country? Is that my question? Thanks.
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Of any political party. Are you a card-carrying member of any political party?
No.
No, sir.
Oh,
Mr. Chairman, sir.
We will investigate.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman. Sir, I want to ask a question. Have you participated in any election? As a voter or as a... No. No, as ad hoc staff.
No, distinguished senator. I have not.
Observation or question?
Professor in the Rivers State University. Am I correct? Am I correct?
Yes.
Were you here when we raised this point?
Yes, I was here.
Okay. And you are a professor of law?
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
No, the appointment, I'm entitled, if it's resignation, I will accept it. If it's to take leave of absence. But currently, I've had an interface informally with the Vice Chancellor, and we are entitled to leave of absence where they block our salary. So within the period, you can collect salary from 2 points, since you are still within the public service of Rivers State. And it's more like a call to duty. I am not the one, I didn't apply. If the state have deemed it fit, or the president, I'm not the one that will reject it, sir.
Well, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues, we must be consistent. We must be consistent. And law must be applied as it is. Law must be applied as it is. And I'm happy here we're talking about no less person than a professor of law. If the law in Rivers State, as it is today, is that if you are in the public service of Rivers State, it does not foreclose you from accepting an appointment to serve as chairman or member of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission. But that upon your acceptance of that appointment, which is upon being sworn in, that you are deemed to have resigned. Resignation is different from leave of absence. It does not even give you an option. If that is the law, as it is, the law may be challenged in court tomorrow. The House of Assembly may amend the law tomorrow. The court may declare it as inconsistent with the Constitution tomorrow. Well, we cannot amend their law, but we can amend the Constitution in a way that it will show that no state House of Assembly will be able to make such a law because it will be inconsistent with the Constitution. But the law as it is today is that if you are in the public service of Rivers State and you accept this appointment, you are deemed to have resigned. So, Prof, definitely you have to make a choice. Again, I distinguish between your own situation and that of Professor, yes, who is a staff of a federal university, being the University of Port Harcourt. And I said it's not captured, by that law, I don't know how you would react to that, sir.
Distinguished Chairman, sir, one essential aspect of electoral laws, that even when you take from the Constitution, it provides that where you have that of the National Assembly, it supersedes. And because of some of the conflicts that you have with the Rsiec law cited by Leonard SAM, I'm aware that the House of Assembly, before the suspension or within the period of this crisis, has gone ahead to amend that Rsiec law. But the very fact that we don't have a clean copy, and these are one of the areas that they amended, but which is not before us. But when it gets to that point, I'm not against the resignation. I've reached the peak. I'm not looking for residency. It's when you are looking for residency, you begin to ask yourself whether you are going to resign. But if you are a professor, you are not looking for residency, but instead it's the university that requires us even when we have gone to the terminal point, we'll still be part of the university. So the issue of resignation does not play so much significance. I will accept. Comrade, I've already said that.
Vice Chairman has
it's an opinion, sir. I would have thought since he is employed by the state government under the university, and it is normal for the state, and this one is a state appointment too.
Yes.
So it's just like an appointment from one ministry to another. Once you are a permanent secretary here, and you are posted as a permanent secretary elsewhere, it doesn't mean you will be collecting secretary from this ministry and the new ministry you are posted to. That's why I see it. So, but if it's different,
that's not a legal argument.
Okay.
But that's let's resolve this matter. Yes.
The good thing about this discussion we're making is that he has made it clear that this particular law, our colleague, the learned SAN cited, has been amended. But only that there is no clean copy. So perhaps if you can help us with the amended, law of River State, that will help a lot before we do the final confirmation. And if possible, you can send it to the Secretariat between tomorrow and next tomorrow.
Distinguished Senator, sir, His Excellency.
Matter has been concluded.
Is that
the professor, excuse me, sir. Okay, sir. I think you have settled, and I think that is what the law says, that upon being confirmed, you will resign. Or you will accept you be deemed to have resigned. You have accepted. So I don't think we should, whether the law is amended or not amended, it's not even an issue. The important thing is for you, that you are willing to be deemed to have resigned. If it's because of your work, the law is amended, one way or the other, as to create a new normal, so be it. For now, what is of importance to us is that you are not prohibited from being confirmed, but once you are confirmed, you will be deemed to have resigned, and you have said, at this age, what are you looking for? You are not going to die in the university anyway, so you will be quite happy to accept to resign. So for me, it causes it. Whether I lost, I made it tomorrow or next tomorrow. So I don't think we should flog an issue. If you refuse to resign, then we can continue.
I'm giving the floor.
So we go on.
Excellency. Mr. Chairman, I think in the absence of any other question, we can allow the professor to take a bow and go, please.
I deem there's no other question. So, Prof, you may leave. And that concludes our first round of the screening exercise on the appointment of nominees into the River State Independent Electoral Commission. The rest will be the final session that we'll have in our closed-door session for further consideration. Do I take it that I have the understanding and resilience of my distinguished colleagues that will take one more agency? Has just 5 nominees.
Yes.
Because tomorrow one of the agencies has 15 nominees. We may not be able to start by. No, sir. We may not be able to start by 10 because some of the members here are also members of the Senate Committee on South-South Development Commission that is sitting by 10 a.m., while some are members of the Southwest Development Commission that will be starting their screening by 12 noon. So if we're able to take the one that has only 5 members, 5 nominees, then we can still hold on to 12 before we start here tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
So I thank you. I appreciate it. So the next one that we'll do with only 5 members will be the which